Well, we've just passed the International Day Against Homophobia, and quite naturally there were very strong statements made by Ban Ki-moon and by Michel Sidibe, the head of UNAIDS. But the statements were somewhat disconcerting in two ways. First, the ringing condemnations of homophobia are always expressed in generalities. They never manage to name individual countries. And frankly, it's the last refuge of cowardice not to name and shame individual countries that have engaged in criminalizing homosexuality. And certainly it's wrong not to indict the individual leaders of those countries for their egregious violations of human rights. But in the case of UNAIDS, it's even more worrying. Recently, the Deputy Executive Director of UNAIDS was in Zimbabwe and showered praise on the regime for its fight against the virus. But we all now know that homophobia drives gay men underground and manages to spread the virus. And yet there was absolutely not a hint of criticism in the press of the Mugabe laws that criminalize homosexuality, and certainly not a hint of criticism of Mugabe himself for his raving, crazed, lunatic attacks on homosexuals, comparing them with dogs. Alas, that seems to be the pattern in UNAIDS. We've seen it in the Caribbean. We've now seen it in a recent memorandum of agreement with the Arab states, and we've seen it in Africa. On the one hand, you praise and congratulate countries for their fight against the virus, and on the other, you fail to say a word about the demonizing of homosexuality. A pox on that approach. You can't have it both ways. I'm Stephen Lewis.